it through here a little angle, so you got to learn how to work with angles. It's very simple stuff basically to build a house, to design it. Try it yourself. Build a house, probably build it stronger than code. And anybody can build their own house as long as you invite the building inspector in to inspect it. You can't build houses for other people. That's the law, right? You've got to be a licensed contractor. But you understand the point. It doesn't take an Einsteinian brain to build a house. Anybody can do it. You could train a monkey practically to do it. No, that'd be pretty hard, but you get the point. So we need these people. And yet we're going to subjugate these people. We're going to marginalize these people. They already have no status working in factories and farms and everything else in society, the food service industry, you name it, retail, just billions of these people, right, around the world. You want to cheat them and you're going to say it's okay, divorce yourself from them because you got it going on, you got an education, you got a white-collar job, you got all this sense of financial security, this sense of financial freedom. And you're okay with that, and you can live. You see, that's what scares me. That people don't have the fear of God in their soul, which means just valuing your conscience. I'm scared for that. I'm scared for people like that. But this escapist behavior that we engage in it's like running to the security of a mother's teat. But it's a pseudo teat that's not ever going to satisfy us. That's why we engage in all these various vices. You know, this huge dilemma that the smartest people in society are facing because they have the right values. They figured out, I know this is a big deal. This is a big choice. Right values, wrong values, worldly values, spiritual values, eternal values, ephemeral values. You see? And they know it. And it's like, wow, man, when you see the light, you kind of want to run, not walk away from riches. Because you see what a snare to the soul of men, these young guys that made a lot of money and they're all screwed up in the head, dissatisfied, ungratified. I mean, they're just miserable. I mean, you know, that's a warning to anybody that gets riches too soon in life. You want to know the plight of the working class and know reality from unreality. And I'm telling you, we're living in an unreality, my friends. This system does not make sense as it stands. Okay, I mean, suppose we all had PhDs, master's degrees, our chosen field of interest. We all demanded to have white-collar jobs. Think, my friends, please. Put two and two together, okay? Figure out the end from the beginning. How will that work? But yeah, people can't take greater and greater fear. They want more and more security. They want the opposite of that. They can't take a less and less freedom. They want more and more freedom. You understand? And that's what financial tyranny causes. And then you got this psycho-spiritual, the implications, how it affects us. Because when we engage in vices, we're at least dissipating time at the very minimum, even if it's a healthy vice, a healthy habit, addiction. It's still, we're dissipating time when we could be engaging in play, recreation, joy, and fun, and all, you know, what God wants for his kids, what makes sense. What do your parents want for you? Enjoy your life. I've given you all this. Have fun. Frolic on my green earth. Enjoy it. And this is forever. That's the promise. You get to live forever in paradise. And there's not going to be any evildoers there that want an advantage over you. And that's through the money. So there's not going to be any form of money. There can't be. Think about it. Jesus talked about this renewal of all things, the end of one age, the beginning of a new age. Figure it out. All things. He didn't say the renewal of some things. So use your imagination. Every problem you see now, everything that bugs you now, every little thing, minutia, write it down. Organic stuff that is across the board, I mean, and the inorganic, artificial stuff, that is the stuff that's invented to oppress people, to tyrannize people, to steal their freedom through financial means. Write all those down that bug you, and then with your God-given imagination, pray a little bit. God, grant me the ability, the wisdom to see a solution for this. And until I see a solution for that, I'm not going to quit. I mean, I've come to figure out I don't even like having to wipe my behind. Seriously. So I think a far superior body someday, if that's the end, you know, that's where we're headed here, then it's got to be something that probably everything that we consume, because I still enjoy eating. I mean, the sense of taste is a beautiful thing, right? We would all agree. Oh, I bit into an avocado the other day. I like to put salt and pepper when I eat them plain. A little salt and pepper on them. Oh my God, it was so freaking good. I can't tell you. Perfect ripeness. Perfect Haas avocado. But, so we all enjoy tasty things, eating, so we would enjoy. But the thing is that it would just probably evaporate off our skin. I thought of that myself. That's if I, know behind, well, something else has to happen to eliminate it, right? Because you take something in, it's got to go out, or you're just going to keep expanding and growing. And if you don't want to keep expanding and growing, then you would have to eliminate some of it. It would have to come out. So as a fragrant aroma, maybe. It's just one idea of a solution to an organic problem. But, I mean, the artificial problem, man, the solutions are up one side, down the other. I mean, they're in your face. There's an army of solutions, a plethora, a myriad, manifold solutions to all of our problems, my friends. And the evildoers don't want it. The last thing they want is people to be free, because that equates to prosperity, universal prosperity, because they know what I'm saying. They know, well, that's the only way. If you're financially free as everybody else, everybody's equal in that sense, then you have a level playing field, and they no longer have that advantage over others. So the last thing they want, even if you said, keep your wealth. In fact, I'll give you 10 times the wealth you have right now. But here's the caveat. Here's the exception. Here's the catch. Everybody else gets to be exactly in the financial state you are. You get it? So, I mean, you get how this thing works and why the incentive, the motivation, why they don't want everybody free in that sense. They don't want you financially free. They're evil. They're hypocrites. Continuing. Okay, my friends, I'm going to get on to some current recent events and other talking points I wanted to get into, but I can be funny too. I could be witty, and I like to, I'm not always super serious, and I do like to, a lot of times, like to make the clerks smile. And I'll go into, you're paying cash for something, gas station, wherever. And, I bring up this idea of smackers. How did dollars get that name? I ask them if they know. And they say, usually no, And what I'll tell them, well, it's from the mafia. When you didn't pay them their dollars, they smack you around a little. So they, and I say, no, I made that up. And I tell them, really, it probably came from... these county fairs. If you remember the old black and white Popeye, the artwork, by the way, you got to watch. If you haven't seen some of those old black and white Popeye cartoons, you've got to watch those things, man. I mean, the artwork is just phenomenal. It's so intricate. It's mind-blowing stuff, really. These people could have been Leonardo da Vinci's, every one of these artists for that. Some of those especially. I mean, some of those artists were really good. But anyhow, the signs at the county fair or something where, it's a kiss, dollar for a kiss, right? So I think that's, the smacker and the kiss. So that's actually where it came from. But I just like people to know that I'm not always dry, humorless, and serious, okay? I can be fun, and I do love fun. I love to be joyful and giddy and just blissful and euphoric. I really do. But I know that I can't do that without first confronting the evil. I mean, this to me is fighting the good fight, something we all have to do to live with ourselves. I mean, comedians too, a lot of them are really smart people. I generally like comedians because of their intelligence, that wittiness and all that ability to be funny and make people laugh in a world of sorrow and pain, misery all over the place. I mean, serious stuff. I mean, does it get more serious than a dubious war where innocent men, women, children are maimed and killed? I mean, you're God. You got to look at this stuff. And these comedians, I mean, a lot of them are godly, righteous people, I think. So, I'm on everybody's side. This is why I vaunt law enforcement. It's not because I don't, I'm saying, well, wait a minute. They're supporting the establishment. They're following the rules of the establishment. I mean, I could understand that argument. But I mean, can you also understand without some semblance of law and order, all you have is wanton lawlessness and disorder. This is one of my grievances about this immigration issue. We're told you should accept it. Don't call them illegal immigrants, but they're breaking the laws of America. That's a fact. So that's what you call lawlessness. That's why it's called illegal. Okay, no, call them, be polite, be PC. Call them just undocumented workers. But I say, but if you're going to do that, then, who are you, what clout do you have anymore to tell me I can't do this? If I want to rationalize that it's okay to rob a bank with a note, even unarmed, I mean, who could, well, you can possibly hurt anybody. You're just asking politely, please hand over all your money and nothing bad will happen. Something like that maybe. I mean, I could rationalize that easy and say that'd be fine, right? Right. I could. Why couldn't I? So it's just the same thing. You see, what they're doing, this is what they're doing. The migration thing is they screwed stuff up deliberately in Latin America. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. This is what came from Max and Stacy watching the Kaiser Report. They had a Mexican journalist on. He exposed this. He told us all about this, how they did it. I mean, they appealed to corruptible leaders and corrupted them. And so the people say, hey, yeah, let's water down their currency. You understand how this is all it takes? And then the meanest people, the thugs, start taking over people's houses and stuff. And people were fleeing the terror in their villages and towns. And so that's why this flood of migration. These are genuine refugees. That Slick Willie, I mean, of course, he's responsible for the bailout of '08. But I'm getting diverted here. Listen, so they screwed it up down there, and that's what they're doing. And they're using these migrants. See, it's a win-win for these people. They're helping to prop up a failed economy because all these human beings are consumers. We all know if you're human, you consume. You need certain things, right? You need food, shelter. So they put a demand on stuff, all consumables. From taking out loans to buying toilet paper. It will stimulate the economy. You understand how this works? Putting an artificial demand, an invented demand on things. So this was the objective of people like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. But Slick Willie, I mean, when he got rid of that Glass-Steagall Act, I had no idea at the time. I wasn't paying any attention at the time. But what this did, it let the banksters off the leash. Any kind of regulation allowed them to go hog wild, Wild West on the butts of the average American person, debasing our currency, telling people it's so great that your housing values are going up for no good reason. Don't ask why, just thank God, because a majority of Americans own homes, and they might still. So they're rubbing their hands together. Oh, this is good, until what? I mean, what are you thinking about your children, your children's children? Not just this generation. How about the future generation? Or stand before God with that. Is it worth your property values going up and being maintained and people die out in the cold? And that is the true ramifications of that. High housing costs. That's what it translates to, burden. One man's value translates to another man's burden. I mean, the days are evil, and there's so many people that just don't get it, don't want to get it. It's called willful ignorance, willful stupidity, willful delusion. They say, it's the path of least resistance. I'm the smart one. I'm the pragmatic one. I'm the educated one. I'm the one that shows common sense because I'm going with what's popular. I'm on that broad path to destruction. Do you understand? Because people's values are warped. The satanic dark forces have warped their values. And they're off track. It's scary. I mean, I'm scared for people. And I have to speak out. So I can't be just a wise guy all the time. I'm enjoying my life. I've got a great life, but I'm half a man because I lack a woman. That's how I feel. I don't think women feel that way about when they're single, and good for them. I really kind of wish I didn't feel that way. But I know how I feel when I have a woman that has given herself to me. It feels better than anything I've ever felt. I feel whole. I feel at peace. I gained 10 to 15 pounds from the peace. She doesn't even have to cook anything. I'll cook. Not a bad cook. I did it as a profession for a while, but I'm a catch. I'm a good guy. I know now better than ever before in my life, way better, how to